Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to talk about Bruce Pardo, aka the Santa Killer. Bruce and his wife Sylvia married in 2006 and had lived in Montrose with her 3 kids. Things were going good. They had 6 figures in the bank, a $500,000 home, and Bruce was an engineer and the breadwinner. Bruce was making $122,000 a year as an electrical engineer at ITT Electrical Systems, radar system in Van Nuys. By December of 2007, Sylvia was sleeping in another room, and her kids were spending weekends with her parents. According to court papers, 2 months later she filed for a divorce. In a divorce, she filed court papers asking for attorney fees and $3,000 in monthly spousal support. Sylvia claimed that Bruce had drawn their $88,000 savings to $17,000 in 2 months and was transferring funds to a private account. The situation has become untenable, and continuing the marriage was not an option, she said in court documents. In July of 2008, Bruce lost his job at ITT and was soon drowning in debt. While scrambling to find work, he begged the court to grant him spousal support until he could find employment. He complained and found that he had monthly expenses of $8,000 and ran a monthly deficit of $2,000. He also had $31,000 in credit card debt and $2,700 monthly mortgage payments. Instead, the court ordered Bruce to pay his ex-wife $1,700 a month in spousal support, plus $3,500 for past payments. When the divorce was settled, the court waived these payments and Bruce got the house, but he also had to pay his ex-wife $10,000 in return for her valuable diamond ring and gave her custody of the dog. This made Bruce angry, and he plotted revenge. At approximately 11:30 p.m. on Christmas Eve, Bruce dressed up in a Santa Claus suit and knocked on the door of his former in-laws' house, accompanied by at least 25 people for a Christmas party. Bruce had a gift wrap package containing a homemade flamethrower in his possession, and plus 4 additional guns. When the door opened, Bruce fired shots, hitting the 8-year-old girl as she ran to greet him, injuring her in her face. He then fired at the fleeing partygoers. Police say Bruce stood over and executed some of his victims. After the shooting, Bruce unwrapped the box containing the homemade flamethrower and used it to spray the whole entire house up, setting the home ablaze. 9 people died from either gunshots or the flames. 3 other victims survived: the 8-year-old girl who shot in the face, a 16-year-old girl who was shot in the back, and a 20-year-old woman who jumped out the window. Bruce even injured himself with the flamethrower, getting 3rd-degree burns on his arm. The fire at her home soared approximately 40 to 50 feet and took 80 firefighters an hour and a half to extinguish. After the attack, Bruce put on his street clothes and drove his car to his brother's house, approximately 30 miles away from the crime scene. Bruce was later found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Bruce's brother was not present in the home at the time of Bruce's death, but Bruce made a flight from Los Angeles to Illinois. Bruce had called days earlier to tell his high school friend that he was planning to visit, but investigators are unsure if he intended to go or the flight was to fool investigators. But due to suffering from severe 3rd-degree burns on his arms, stemming from the blaze, he decided to go against his initial plan. Police found $17,000 in cash wrapped on his leg. In his car, they found it being parked a block away from his brother's. Police also recovered from the scene with 4 guns that were each empty and at least 200 rounds of ammunition. Bruce's house in Montrose, police had recovered 5 empty boxes for guns, 2 shotguns, and a container for high-octane fuel tank gasoline. Ages of people Bruce took lives were ages 17 to 80, being his ex-wife Sylvia, Sylvia's mom, Sylvia's dad, Sylvia's sister-in-law, her nephew, her 2 brothers, her sister, and Sylvia herself. It was even said Bruce planned to kill his own mom because she took Sylvia's side in the divorce. Bro was truly a psycho. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.